Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night Rivera Urban Homestead Edition. I was going to plant out some microgreens. I figured I might as well take you guys along. Plus I had a few things I just wanted to talk about from last video. First thing, the reason I can do microgreens now is because I took out those big tomato plants that we planted last video. So now I have room again in my water containment tray. So what I'm going to be planting is red rain mustard, a spicy micro mix, and your basic salad mix. So these are all pretty basic microgreens to grow. Shouldn't be too hard to do. So as I'm planting these, I'll kind of give you hints on what I'm doing, but I'm also just going to talk about what I was needing to talk about. So the first thing we need to grow the microgreens is the soil, the medium I'm using. Mine is basically just perlite, vermiculite, and an organic potting mix. The point is you want your soil to be really fine and airy for the microgreens. They don't really need any nutritional value in the soil because they get all the nutrition from the seed. And by the time you harvest them, they're not needing any amendments from the soil. That being said, I still put kelp meal in my microgreen soil just to give them some sea minerals as well. Okay, so I'm going to just fill up my trays, and as I'm doing that, we'll talk. So, the one thing I wanted to talk about on yesterday's, or this weekend's video that took me until I think Monday to upload is when I mixed up the soil to plant the tomatoes, I forgot to add any vermiculite or any perlite. So all it was is I mixed that soil conditioner soil, which is pretty heavy, and I also mixed the black cow manure into it, which is heavy. And the next day I was at work and I was thinking, man, I did not put any perlite or vermiculite into the dang soil to keep it. What that does is it keeps the soil lighter, keeps it more airier, you know, not as hard compact as it can get, and it helps with keeping moisture in the soil. So by not adding any of that to the tomato plants, I'm afraid that those beds are going to get really compact and really hard and not keep enough water retention. So, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you mess up, guys. That's just what happens. Totally spaced it out. Didn't buy any, nothing. I don't know what made me think about it yesterday when I was at work, but I was like, that ain't very good. So, anyway, just going to fill these up. I fill them right to the top here. These trays that I use are only like 1.5 inches high. They're not like the real tall ones that you normally see people using. Those like 3-inch ones. I don't like using them. I like the soil to be right to the top, and then I can just harvest way easier when the stems are exposed. So, put this soil in. The next thing I wanted to say is my chicken with the eye closed is starting to look a little better. She's starting to open that eye up a little, so I think it's on the mend. She must have got it scratched by, like I said, maybe Molly, who knows. Something happened. But either way, her eye is starting to look better. She was opening it a lot more yesterday when I was out back, so that's good. But that vermiculite, that's kind of a crappy mistake I made. I think that's going to affect the growth of those tomato plants. But you know what? Hey, what can you do? Okay, so now I got the soil in as evenly as I'm going to get it looks like. Just kind of tap it down a little. Okay, so now that I got the soil all nice and leveled in there, I need to water it really good. Really get this soil soaked down. The problem is, back here my water source is a mister. And this mister, I mean, it's gonna take a long time to get all these soils wet, nice and wet the way I need them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the tray out, See, these are my growing trays. You see how thin those are compared to your regular trays you could buy? So I like these thinner ones, but this one's a solid one, this big one. So I'm going to set this in here, and I'm going to go to my sink and I'm going to spray it with the little hose in the sink and really wet it down. That's the only time I use straight tap water. Most of the time I have my water sitting out, letting it aerate for 24 hours to get any chlorine out and stuff like that. But anyway, let me go spray these off real quick. Alright guys, so I got it all watered, and that is something I'm going to have to remedy if I really start wanting to produce more microgreens. I'm going to have to figure out a water system for back here that I don't have to go to my kitchen sink and possibly make a mess. And you know, a messy kitchen made by the husband doesn't make a happy wife. So I definitely need to do a water something in here when I decide to up production. Anyway, right now, red rain mustard. And all I'm going to do is just kind of put some in my hand. Little balls there, just little reddish, brownish balls, seeds. And I'm just going to start from one end and just kind of sprinkle all the edges. I like doing my edges first. I don't know what it is with me and edges, but the edges I just feel like need done first. And you just want to put on a nice even coat. You don't want them piled up on each other or stacked on each other. You want a nice even coat. So, you know, you can get more technical and measure them out and learn the exact measurements, which I want to do eventually. But for right now, I'm just going to kind of just eye it. I'm not doing this for like selling it or anything right now. I'm just doing it for us. Maybe for some friends, see if they would be interested in possibly starting to get some. And there we go. Now we're going to do the spicy micro mix, which is probably going to look the same because, yeah, it's going to look exactly the same because it's mustards and stuff like that in here as well. Again, get my sides. And then start working in. Didn't really have too much of this one left, so I'll just use it all and see if that's enough. Alright. The last one, I got this basic salad mix. They're all pretty much kind of the same variety of seeds, which mean they should all germinate and they should all be ready for harvest around the same time as well. So that's kind of good. We'll get this put in here. There we go, guys. So, now we have all the seeds in. Now I can use my mister and just mist those seeds down a little. Just get them nice and moistened and kind of stuck into the ground with this thing, into the soil. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cover them with blackout domes, and we'll leave them for about 3 days. 3 or 4 days, we'll see how they work. We'll check on them like every night when I get home and just make sure they don't need a little misting, but they should be pretty good. So, I'm just going to take other domes that I have. You notice I don't have any without holes, so I'm going to have to cover the tops with this. So it has holes. So we'll figure out something to put over the top so we can totally shut out the light. But again, right now that's all I have. You just kind of want to spray it to keep the humidity level up a little during germination. So spray your blackout tops. I'm probably going to go buy some more of these without holes in them, and then I can use them for the blackout domes, or figure something else out. Voila! 3 trays of microgreens planted. And now we just gotta, like I said, cover the tops with something. Let me find something. Ooh, I already did. Oh, perfect, guys. My son likes to make stuff out of this foam board you could buy at the dollar store. Look at that. That covers all the little holes in the tops of them domes, so now they are completely shut out of light. Perfect. And we'll leave them set like this for about 3 days. And of course, as you could tell, my light is way up there. But when they're ready to be uncovered, these plants that I still have here, the peppers and tomatoes, we'll get them outside permanently. And then we could just drop that light down to where it's about 4 or 5, maybe 6 inches above the plants. And then they should be going good. Ooh, look at what I just saw. Hold on, come here. Can you see that, guys, in my neighbor's yard? Look over there in that little cage. Come on out so we could see you. Now they're all hiding. It's their chickens. They got chickens now. I think I started something, a little backyard chicken movement in my neighborhood. So now me and now my neighbors, they have chickens. Haha, they're getting pretty big. I haven't seen them in a while. I just happened to, oh, there they are. I just happened to look out the window real quick at a glance, and there they were. So yeah, little chickens. Alright guys, well thanks for hanging out with me this Wednesday night. Planted some microgreens. Talked about the brain fart I had out in the garden with not adding any vermiculite or perlite to the soil I put those tomatoes in. We'll see how that goes. I have the wood chips on there, so maybe that'll help conserve some of the water in there. We'll just have to watch, right? We'll just see what happens. Also, chicken is starting to look better. Her eye is getting better. Let me know if you guys like any of this. If you like some microgreen videos, I can start really incorporating more in. Now that we got the transplants out, this little table setup I have right now is about a 4-tray setup. I can do 4 different trays at once on this little containment I have. And all this water containment tray is you go to the pet store and you buy the bottom tray for the dog kennels, the big dog cages, and it has a molded lip. It's all plastic, so you can put your trays in there and you can just pour water into that plastic and they can drink it from up, from underneath. And that's what we're going to do with these. These are pretty delicate microgreens, so you don't want to be spraying them over the top and stuff. They tend to lay down and get all matted and nasty. You want to water them from the bottom. Being I don't have solid trays directly under them, I'm going to use this one. So we'll see how it works. It'll be my first time trying that. And that's about it. If you guys like these videos, let me know in the the comment section. Let me know if you want to do more microgreens. We can start focusing on more of that. And also let me know if you kind of like my weekend. They're almost like vlog in a sense, because I'll start maybe videoing Friday, Saturday, maybe finish Sunday and upload. So it's multiple days worth of just things I'm doing. Or would you like more shorter videos and direct, like instructional or one topic? I don't know. Just throw me some ideas, guys. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you this weekend.